Should you be a PTA or a PT? How do you decide which one to be? It's very simple, guys. Become a PTA. That's it. Like, go watch another video now or something. I actually wanted to go through and list a few pros and cons of each, whether you're a PTA or whether you're a PT, and then I kind of want to discuss it a little bit. So I'm just going to start listing some stuff. The first thing the reason why I like being a PTA over being a PT is the amount of schooling you have. So if you're a PTA, you don't have to be in school as long as you do if you're a PT. And I do not like going to school. I think there are a lot of better ways to learn, and so to be in school for 8 years is just, it hurts my soul. Another reason why it's a good idea to become a PTA is because it is less expensive. So if you're not in school for as long, then you won't have as much debt when you graduate. So that could be looked at as a good thing as well. Another benefit of being a PTA is there is less paperwork. So a lot of times for physical therapists, they have to do evals and discharges and progress notes and different things related to the patient care, and it's a lot more time consuming. So they spend a lot more of their time writing notes than I do. I do daily notes and I do simple things. So I can knock those out like bam, like that fast. But a PT takes a little bit longer, so I get more time with the patient instead of writing notes every day. So that's kind of a cool thing as well. Kind of going off what I just said, I think that PTAs get to spend more time with the actual patient throughout their whole course of treatment. Now this actually could look different depending on what clinic you work at, but for the majority of the clinics I've worked at, the PTs were responsible for doing the evaluation, the progress notes, and the discharges with the patients, and they spent a lot of their time doing that instead of actually working with the patient for each one of their treatments. That's where the PTA comes in. So I felt like in my experiences, the PTA actually spent more time with the actual treatment, the one that is actually rehabbing the patient, and the PT is guiding that. They're guiding what the care looks like, but the PTAs are providing the care. And I'm not saying that PTs never provide care and they never jump in. I just see more of it more often by PTAs rather than PTs. This next point I'm about to make could really go either way. It could be looked at as a benefit for a PTA or a PT, and that is the responsibility level. I feel like both the PTA and the PT both share a responsibility with the patient, but personally I think the PT has a little more responsibility just because they're dictating what happens with that patient and they're writing the plan of care. And so they ultimately decide what's going to happen with that patient, so it's on their shoulders. Now that could be looked at as a good thing from the PTA because, hey, it's not a big deal if I screw something up. It kind of, you know, the PT is more responsible than I am. But then again, it could be looked at as a good thing by the PT because they have more responsibility and they can kind of determine where that treatment session goes and how they choose to provide intervention. So that's kind of based on the PT. So it could be looked at either way as a positive or a negative, but I just wanted to share that. Yeah. I've shared some reasons why I think being a PTA could be better than being a PT, but now I want to do the reverse side of that and share why I think being a PT might be the better route to take, using the same examples that I used before. So when it comes to schooling, I think that PTs are more knowledgeable than PTAs. They went to school a lot longer and they've studied a lot more. And so I think that really gives them the advantage when working with patients because they understand the care a lot more than I could ever, because I'm limited with the things I know, even about anatomy or the in-depth I know about a certain subject. I feel like PTs know a lot more, and so they can do a better job of knowing how to treat that patient, which can be looked at as a good thing. Now, when it comes to how expensive it will be for a PT, yes, it will be more expensive for the schooling portion, but you will also get paid more. And not only just salary, but I feel like there are other benefits as well. Like, I feel like a lot of times PTs actually get more paid time off than a PTA would, and they get better benefits as well sometimes. So overall, you might invest more as a PT, you might spend more money on college and on your education, but then on the return side of that, you earn more afterwards as a career. Another reason why it's probably better to be a PT is because you have more autonomy. You can dictate how that treatment session goes, and you can dictate how care goes for your patients, which can be a really frustrating thing sometimes as a PTA. If you think, man, I would really like to do this for a treatment, but the PT really doesn't want to, well, the PT gets to decide at the end of the day what gets provided and what kind of treatment. Obviously the PTA has input in that and they can kind of work together as a team, but at the end of the day the PT is in charge and they determine where that treatment session goes. Now this next point is kind of up in the air again, but I think PTs have the better chance of getting hired into a company. And one of the main reasons I think that is because a lot of companies hire PTs and techs, and sometimes they don't hire PTAs. And so I just feel like sometimes if you jump on Indeed or something, you can find more job postings for physical therapists instead of physical therapist assistants. So that honestly depends in the area you're at and where you're looking, but I do feel like the PTs have a little bit of an advantage there. Two other reasons real quick why it would be awesome to be a PT is because you get a cool title. You get to be called Dr. Antonio. Like, how nice does that sound? Dr. Tony? Bam, that sounds amazing. And the other thing is that if you're a PTA, you get asked all the time, so when are you gonna become a PT? You don't get that if you're a PT. They don't ask you, hey, when are you gonna become a PTA? No, because you're already a PT. So that's kind of a cool thing about being a PT. Also, another good reason why it's better to become a PT is because if you ever want to open up your own clinic, you don't have to pay a PT to work for you. You can just do it all yourself. So me being a PTA, if I wanted to open up my very own clinic all by myself, I would have to pay a PT to see patients because I couldn't do the evals and the discharges. I could still help out and do treatments and everything, but that portion I would have to pay somebody to do. But if you're a PT, you don't have to hire anybody. You could technically do everything yourself. You can do the billing, you can do the evals, you can do the treatments, and so you can save some money initially if you're a PT and you want to do that and open up your own business. So that's a plus. As you can see, there are a lot of benefits of being a PTA and there are a lot of benefits of being a PT, but I would say that if you really know you want to become a PT, it's a really passion of yours, you want to guide the treatment, you want to be a leader in the field, and you're leaning more towards that, then I would go for it. If you're a little more undecided in your career, or you just are not looking to commit that much time, that much effort, and you want to really just get into the field and get working in it, then I would suggest start off as a PTA. You can always work your way up to a PT, you can always go back to school, but if you commit all that time to become a PT and then you realize that you really don't like the field that much, you just wasted a lot of time, a lot of money. You kind of got to stick with it if you want to be a PT. If you're a PTA, you can still have some fluctuation and some room to get out of the career, switch careers, go into business, own your own clinic. Like, you can kind of switch it up a bit, but if you're a PT, you kind of need to be a PT because you invested a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of resources. So you kind of got to know that you want to do the career if you're leaning that way. I really see value in PTAs and PTs. I love both of them. I think they make a great team. A lot of people ask me, should I start off as a PTA and then become a PT, or should I just become a PT? And I feel like that's a video in itself. So if you want to know more about that, just let me know in the comment section. I'll make another video. But as far as should you be a PTA or a PT, I think they're both great careers. I think that you should let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. I hope this gave you some information and something to think about when you're making this decision for yourself. Enjoy. Have an awesome day. Peace.